I just wanted to express and acknowledge all the hard work that and leadership that John Dunn has exhibited in the area of apprenticeship. He and Nick Esquivel have done an outstanding job on these 4 RFAs, and we're excited about the program opportunity, and both John and Nick are looking forward to working with the recipients of these grants to build a strong apprenticeship program across California community colleges.
Great. Thank you very much, Gary. All right, so you should be seeing the first slide. This is the Pre-Apprenticeship Grant Bidders Conference. If you need the RFA number, it's right there, 15-192. And let me start walking our way through it. As you know, this is a new source of funding from the governor and in the budget. The overall project we're calling the California Apprenticeship Initiative, and that's to establish new and innovative apprenticeship programs and projects. And setting up some pre-apprenticeship programs falls under that bigger effort. So here's a little bit of an agenda here for today. Talk a little bit about the information on the Bidders Conference, an overview of the RFA, the instructions, the specifications, and next steps. So a lot of what we talk about today, the details are in the RFA. So please, when in doubt, go back and look at the RFA first, and then we'll talk about questions throughout the agenda. So during the conference today, you're all muted. So we don't want to have any background noise. We just want to focus on the Bidders Conference itself. If you have questions during the conference, feel free to use the chat feature on the online webinar section. We're not going to answer questions during the webinar. We're collecting all the questions that you send in, and then we'll put them into a frequently asked questions document that we'll release by October 5th. So feel free to use the chat box. If it's something that's quickly and easily a yes or no kind of question that we might be able to answer today, that's fine. We also would like you to send questions via email if they're more detailed. That's a little bit easier also. So we collect the questions and we'll put together the FAQs later on and soon. Okay. So this is the overview for this RFA. We've got $2 million available total. Depending on the project that you would like to apply for and how extensive it is, you can request up from $100,000 to $500,000 for the grant. With that number, we expect up to 15 pre-apprenticeship grant awards to be awarded. The grant term it's 2 years long because we know that some of you may need to get up to speed and get things rolling. Set up with apprenticeship programs. So it's the start date's January 21st, which is right after our Board of Governors meeting, and will end February 1st, 2018. There's no match required and no extensions on these grants. This is Prop 98 money, and we only have so much time to encumber and spend the money, so there won't be any extensions on this. We need you to get the work done right away. Here are the qualified applicants and fiscal agents. Because it's Proposition 98 money, the way the money flows is out to either California community colleges or California Department of Education, local education agencies. So you may hear us say LEAs from here on out, and that's a term if you're involved in apprenticeship that get used to just hearing LEAs. And those are the CDE agencies. Regional occupational centers and programs, adult schools, county house of ed, and other public school districts are eligible to be the fiscal agent for these projects. Those fiscal agents would then partner with other agencies, nonprofits, apprenticeship programs, whatever they need to do in order to get the goals of the RFA accomplished. If you're one of the potential partners and you're listening in today and you do not have an existing relationship with either a community college or an LEA, let us know and we can help put you in touch with someone that might be able to help you out. Eligibility. The applications must score 75 on average to be considered for funding. We always talk about past performance of grantees, so if you have a good or poor performance in other state grants, that can be a consideration prior to final selection also. So in the scoring, as you work your way through the RFAs, you will come across the scoring section. We wanted to increase the need and the response to need on these to show that this is really where we want you to focus your efforts. We need to understand exactly how you see the need for a pre-apprenticeship program and how you're going to respond to that need. We may require the applicant to make adjustments in the budget, annual work plan, or other aspects prior to funding the grant, but this is the scoring that we'll use. So, we also want you to understand how your application may be rejected. These are the list of causes of applications being rejected. We want to make sure that every application that comes in after all the hard work you've done isn't rejected outright. So please follow these directions. Make sure that it's sent to us on or before the due date to the correct email address. That all the applications are submitted in a single email here, and that you're not changing anything as you go along. All of these bullets are also included in the RFAs too. More about the application sections, cover letter, contact page, the application abstract. You do need to stay within the set page limits for each narrative section. The need, response to need, and project management call for 5 and 7 pages and 5 pages again respectively. We did this because the RFA is asking the applicants to go into quite a bit of detail about how they will accomplish each objective. And the Chancellor's Office expects applicants to write a thoughtful and comprehensive need and response to need and project management sections. We do have a page limit on there. We want you to be concise and accurate and efficient in your applications, so please do not go over the page limits. One last thing on here, all of these sections need to be included in a single PDF according to the RFA instructions also. More on application formatting, 1-inch margin, single double space, 12-point Arial font, and again, keep to those page limits. Submission information. Probably the most important piece here today is when is this due and how do you send it in. It's due by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, October 28th. See the email address there. We set up a separate email account, apprenticeship@cccco.edu. That's the same email address you should send questions to also for the RFAs, and that's what we'll use to communicate back out to the field too. The subject line, this helps us sort the emails as they come in because we have 3 applications due on the same day. So please make sure the subject line is correct and accurate, and that the format is a PDF and shrunk down to no larger than 10 megabytes. Sorry. I should have made that a big M, huh? We'll fix that. That's okay. Megabytes. Appendices. This is where you can find a little bit more information. Appendix A is the Article 1 and 2. These are the legal terms and conditions. Please pay attention to those and read through them to make sure that if you're going to be the fiscal agent or one of the partners, that you're able to conform to those conditions. Appendix B are application forms. when you get into the application forms, you're going to notice that there's one form for colleges and one form for CDE LEAs. Please use the correct one depending on who the fiscal agent is going to be. And feel free to give us an email if you have questions about which form to use and who's going to be the fiscal agent. That's fine. But please pay attention to which one to use. Within Appendix B, you're going to find the contact page, the annual work plan, the application budget summary, and budget detail sheets. We need those filled out as accurately as possible so that we understand how the money will be used, who is going to be responsible for each section, and the different activities that are going to be involved in the grant. Appendix C has some templates for the CEO superintendent letter, as well as out-of-state travel request forms. If you're going to be traveling out of state, we just need to approve it ahead of time. There's been a few questions about partner letters. We did not put a form partner letter because we would like your partner letters to be non-generic. We want them to be specific to what the partner is going to add to the program, to the pre-apprenticeship program. Appendix D has guidelines, definitions, allowable expenditures. Appendix E, as in Edward, has the common metrics and accountability measures. And these are from our Doing What Matters initiative. Not all of the common metrics and accountability measures would be applicable to this pre-apprenticeship, but an awful lot of them are. So please look through them, and we can help you identify which areas that we would like you to focus on in terms of data collection and how we're going to grade the success of your grant. Lastly is Appendix F. That's a page of resources regarding apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship that you may find useful to learn more about pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs. So please take a look at that, and there should be enough resources there to get you started. Take a look at it. Specification. So on the need, we want you to describe the local, regional, statewide need for the attended pre-apprenticeship program, and also the programs, the apprenticeship programs that you're going to be supporting. Because this is a pre-apprenticeship program, it needs to be connected directly to an established apprenticeship program approved by the Division of Apprenticeship Standards. So you need to be able to tell us what the need is for the apprenticeship program that you're working with, and also how you're going to support them in that effort. Response to need. How are you going to create and implement the pre-apprenticeship program? How the needs from the need area will be addressed. What are you going to do? How will you accomplish the goal of preparing future apprentices and supporting the apprenticeship training program that you're going to partner with? And you may have multiple apprenticeship training programs to partner with. Again, be specific. Let us know. You've got 7 pages to let us know what you're going to do and how you're going to accomplish the goals. Annual work plan. Within that work plan, you'll have objectives. You need to map these to your response to need narrative as much as possible. And we want you to describe each objective's activities, outcomes, timelines, who's responsible. This is your overall plan on what you're going to do. It's the roadmap. If you might think of it as a roadmap to move from point A to B to be successful in implementing the pre-apprenticeship program. And if you need more detail, look at Appendix D, the common metrics and accountability measures. That'll help you also to fill out the annual work plan. Project management plan. We need to know what your management structure is going to be. Who is the main point of contact for the Chancellor's office? What are they responsible for? What other people are involved in your management of the program? How effectively would you be able to manage the funding in terms of invoicing, payments, being the fiscal agent? This is how we want to find out how well you're going to put together your project. The flow of money is important to make sure that when we send money out, it gets invoiced and paid correctly. We need an organizational chart. That does not count against your 5-page limit, but that helps us understand how you're going to set up your management structure. And lastly, in this area, we need intent to participate letters from your partners, including the apprenticeship training programs that you'll be working with. And again, that doesn't count against the 5-page limit, and we hope that those are specific in nature and give us an idea of how much your partners are going to participate in this program. Dissemination. This is important. These are new state funds. We want to make sure that you disseminate work products, effective practices, and even stumbling blocks along the way. So how will the project director and other folks in the project disseminate this information to other individuals and organizations? We'd like to see you at conferences. The California Conference on Apprenticeship is coming up in April. The CAC meetings are quarterly, and there's other state and regional venues that you can present that, and we encourage you to do that so that other folks learn about your project and how it can be used again in another way around the state. Feasibility of the project is an area where it's not addressed separately on the application, but we score it on a rated area in the scoring sheet. The reviewer of the application uses this to judge the viability and cohesiveness of the project. This is where we get to score how well you put together your RFA application. Here's some important reporting dates. So as you get into the RFA and if you're awarded a grant, you need to understand that we have quarterly reporting dates. These are annually. This is a 2-year grant, so we'll go through these dates twice along the way. And then the last date is the March 30th, 2018 would be the last day to send in your expenditures and a final report for this project. What are our next steps at this point? We've already had the RFA released. Today's the bidders conference. We need you to submit any content or technical questions about the RFA by October 2nd so that we can quickly turn around and answer those questions or fix anything that needs to be fixed. The deadline for submitting the application again is October 28th. We hope to get the notification of intent to award out by November 20th. We have an appeals process. The deadline for that would be December 4th. After that, the list of awards goes to the Board of Governors for approval, and we're able to start the grant the next day. The grant end date is February 1st, 2018, so it's just shy over 2 years long, with the final report on March 30th of 2018. And once again, let me emphasize that there will not be any extensions on these grants. We have a hard deadline on that. Okay, following up to today's bidders conference. Please send us your questions. I noticed we haven't had any questions in the chat room yet. Use the email address below there to send in any questions or concerns, clarifications, anything you need. Get those to us by October 2nd. We will turn around and have them posted with our answers on the Chancellor's Office website by October 5th. It's a pretty quick turnaround, but we know that we've got a few questions that have come in already, so we should be able to turn that around pretty quickly. Here's some more legalese for your RFA clarification. If you see any ambiguity, conflict, discrepancy, omission, other error in the RFA, please send a written modification or clarification, or notify us immediately of the error and request a written modification or clarification of the document. We will send out a clarifying addendum to all parties who have obtained the RFA. We'll give such notice to other interested parties if we're able to, if we know who they are. But most likely we'll post this, if there is any clarification, we'll post it to our website and let folks know that it's there. Here is the contact information, either myself, John Dunn, or Nick Esquivel. If it's a question for the RFA, please send it to the apprenticeship.cccco.edu email address. But John or myself and Nick are the two main points of contact here. The webinar will be archived today. It's being recorded as we speak. Later on, it should be up there in 1 to 2 days, so you can click on that link for the webinar archive. And then we will also be posting the slide deck from the webinar today on our website this afternoon. Once again, here's your submission information. Needed a single PDF, no larger than 10 megabytes. We will let you know if we receive the RFA within 24 hours. If you can send it in early, that's great. That's it for today. We want to thank you for joining us. We expect to see some very good pre-apprenticeship applications. Looks like we have 22 people in the main room today, plus a few more on the phone, I'm sure. We look forward to your applications, and if you have any questions, please send them in via email, and we will answer them by October 5th. Gary, do you have any more?
No, thanks. Great job.
We are good to go. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and I'm going to turn off the recording now, and have a good week.